Welcome to this week's AMT Standard Bank Fresh Produce Overview. This week we discuss why avocado prices jumped by a massive 68% the past week, lower demand that can drive most prices down, and what impact the rain can have on prices. All in this week's episode, so don't miss a second. Before diving into this week's fresh produce trends, let's take a quick look at the latest economic landscape shaping the markets. The rand has taken another severe hit over the past week, weakening significantly to 19.15 rand against the US dollar as the dollar strengthened following stronger than expected US jobs data. Traders also scaled back expectations for additional interest rate cuts by the US Federal Reserve as a result, which can spill over to our markets as well. As a result, our rate cuts for this year can also be paused for now. Brent crude oil prices rose to around $81.20 per barrel on Monday, hitting the highest level in more than 4 months amid concerns over potential supply disruptions stemming from new US sanctions on Russia's oil sector. Additionally, stronger than expected US jobs report on Friday signaled economic strength, which also supported oil demand and prices as a result. Now that we've covered the economic backdrop, let's dive into this week's fresh produce overview, starting with vegetables as usual. As expected, the average national potato price fell to 77.63 per 10 kg, marking a 12% decrease compared to the previous week. Last week, large potatoes traded on 94 rand, mediums at 73 and smalls at 48 rand per 10 kg. Variety-wise, mondials dropped to 82 rand, while saffras decreased to 76 rand per 10 kg. Lower prices were driven by more volumes coming into the markets, with a 42% weekly increase reported in volumes. Limpopo is still receiving lots of rain, which is resulting in slightly lower volumes coming to the markets as usual. But despite lower volumes, expect prices to dip this week as the schools now start and demand is likely to decrease. Quality coming out of Pietersburg and Vryburg areas are also looking good, while the Eastern Free State region is likely to enter into the markets at the end of this month. The average onion price spiked to 44.42 per 10 kg last week, now 10% higher than a year ago, while volumes are still 9% higher year on year. Brown onions increased to 46, red onions to 47 and white onions to 47 rand per 10 kg. Large onions traded lower at 41, while mediums traded higher at 46 rand and smalls at 42 rand per 10 kg. We seem to be at a turning point, with prices likely to improve towards late February. As mentioned last week, the lower prices seen in recent months could also lead to fewer onions being planted this year, which might drive onion prices higher later in 2025. Tomato prices fell by 13% last week to an average of 8.58 rand per kilogram, now 14% lower than a year ago. Large tomatoes traded on 9.94 rand, mediums at 8.62 rand and smalls at 7.55 rand. Heavy rainfall in major production areas over the past few weeks has severely affected tomato quality and the shelf life of the tomatoes. The market still reflects a dual pricing structure, with lower quality tomatoes driving down the average price, while premium quality is still getting higher prices. Expect the average price, however, to stay low now due to more low-quality tomatoes entering into the market. But this can also result in a shortage later in this year, so just keep that in mind. Carrot prices dropped by 13% last week, averaging on 5.47 rand per kilogram. Large carrots, however, traded on 5.75 rand, mediums at 4.63 rand and smalls at 3 rand per kilogram. Usually we see a dip in prices this time of the year when demand takes a knock, but with the high rainfall over the past few weeks, we can see an increase in prices due to lower expected volumes on the markets. As expected, the average pepper price dropped sharply over the past week to 11.92 rand per kilogram. The drop is a combination of higher volumes and lower demand over this time of the year. Green pepper prices trade lower on 8.83 rand, Yellow peppers decreased to R15.24 while the latest red pepper price traded at R16.32 per kilogram. Expect a slight recovery towards the end of this month. However, the general trend points to prices staying closer to the R10 mark until June of this year. Cabbage prices dropped by 10% to R3.18 per kilogram, while the average garlic price increased to R49.06 per kilogram. Local produced garlic traded at R39.61, with imported garlic now on R80.88 per kilogram. Spinach prices also dropped to R2.87 per kilogram, while in contrast, sweet potato prices jumped by a massive 113% to R10.61 per kilogram, which is now closer to the levels that we saw last year this time. Pumpkin prices increased to R3.35, butternuts climbed to R3.63, green beans however dropped to R19.44, and cucumbers decreased to R9.16 per kilogram. For a deeper dive into these and other market insights, be sure to download our latest reports available for free at amtrends.co.za now. Shifting our focus to the fruit markets, however, the average banana price jumped back to R11.18 per kilogram over the past week, which is around R201 per 18 kilogram box, and is now about 3% lower than a year ago. Volumes dropped by 6% week on week, with lots of rain affecting deliveries to the markets at the moment. We are, however, still expecting lower prices for the rest of this month, as volumes is likely to stay on a higher level. Apple prices increased to R14.13 per kilogram, while pear prices dropped by another 8% to R16.53 per kilogram. Apple prices, as mentioned last week, can remain on a higher level during January, but expect pear prices to stay in this downward trend now, as volumes to the markets will most likely increase from here on out. Orange prices decreased to R16.23 per kilogram, but is also likely to stay on a higher level until mid-February. On the other hand, avocado prices jumped by a massive 68% to R43.35 per kilogram, with volumes to the markets about 43% lower compared to this time a year ago. Variety-wise, Vietos however stayed on R43, while Haas jumped to R54 per kilogram. Pinkertons traded on R26 per kilogram. We can, however, expect this price to trade significantly lower or downward from here on out, as volumes to the markets can start to increase. The average grape price declined by 16% to R24.10 per kilogram, with volumes rising by 96% week on week. Compared to last year, we're still seeing 14% higher volumes due to about 2% lower volumes reported. This downward trend is, however, likely to continue until mid-February, with prices likely to stay closer to the R20 mark over the next few months. Pineapple prices traded lower on R13.91, lemons increased to R9.78, while blueberries traded 7% higher on R74.95 per kilogram. I think we're close to a turning point where lemon prices can start trending downward, while blueberry prices can stay in this upward trend until the middle of this year. This video was proudly brought to you by Standard Bank. For more detailed market insights, visit our website at amtrends.co.za, where you can also download our latest reports for free. Don't forget to join our growing community on WhatsApp for exclusive updates. Just follow the link in the description to stay connected with the latest trends and insights. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe, and thank you for watching.